All right, Cayden, check it out. This is CPS My Story Part 3. Um, looking back at Part 2, I see that really uh, it was like, a short period of time, uh, but, you know, just know that when your mom was staying at Harrison Street, um, she was there for, at least a half a year. And then she went to Lake Merritt Lodge, so there was like almost a year uh, of me having, communications and a relationship with your mom, so uh, I wanted to get that out of the way because, uh, there's a lot of stuff, and that went on during that time frame, and uh, it was crazy times. It was crazy times, and uh, but like I said, I'm just trying to present this to you in a way, to where you don't get hurt, or anybody else don't get hurt, because like I said, I'm not trying to um, cause any waves, man. Really, it's important that you get to know the situations that happen and the circumstances, and you know, uh, like I said, as I write this video right now, it's 2023, and a lot has happened, so I wanted to know, yeah, I'm trying, to present it to you, truthfully, and you know I could be straight up uh raw with this truth, and and that's what I don't want to do, because I might have some feelings, uh resentful, anger feelings and whatnot, but that really only pertains to, you know, to two people, in your side of the family, because uh, you, so in this video, Cayden, there's going to be a lot going on, and so check it out, you know, this is open source video, right? Uh, they're available to the public. Uh, they're not hidden in any way. They're not on private, nothing like that, and the reason is because I want you to find them some kind of way, and if everything was on private, then you'd never find them, and so the public, you know, and here's the thing is that the public are going to see these videos too, and they're called CPS My Story, so uh there might be somebody who's inquiring about that, or wanting to see whatever, all I'm saying is that there are going to be a lot of people that watch this video that don't, that I'm not necessarily, making it for or anything like that, but so this is where I say there, there's a couple things, that are going on. One is me telling the story, uh, but there's, to you, you know, but there's gonna be people who are gonna see the story and just, from experiences or whatever it might be, uh, they're gonna watch it, and so, but like I said, and I'm a father, I don't have you, Cayden. Uh, and there are other fathers out there that don't have their sons either, you know, and so, you know, part of my thinking and, you know, and motivation is just trying to help, really, you know. I made a lot of mistakes, and I've done a lot of foolish things, uh, and in those mistakes, you know, I realized, you know, what those mistakes were, and you know, uh, but when dealing with CPS, the mistakes are detrimental, you know, and there ain't no, you know, trying to sugarcoat anything or nothing like that, you know. So, you know, during that time when, you know, your mom was living on Harrison Street, she probably lived there for like 6, 7 months, you know, and she was evicted, and you know, if I remember correctly, prior to me meeting your mom, she was seeing this guy Jeremy, and he wound up taking your mom's money and leaving the state, and so and and that and so there, you know, there was it was she struggled, you know, and uh, your mom is so wanting to help, you know, people, and you know, I mean, she will sacrifice her own to help somebody, you know, uh, and I admire that, but at the same time, you know, uh, your mom has helped people repeatedly, um, you know, because she's just trying to, she wants to do the right thing, you know, but you know, she's been burnt, she's been hurt, you know, and so, um, you know, when it comes to your mom, so you know, honestly, I've known her for like at least 14, 15 years, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? I mean, so before you were born, you know, I mean, you're 11 now, and um, shit, I knew her already for like, you know, at least almost going up to 2 years, you know, so 12, 13, so that's 13, you know, so that's 13, 14 years, you know, and a lot has happened, you know, during that time, you know. Many ups and downs, you know. We've hurt each other. Um, you know, it's important that you know that I love your mom very much. She is so important to me, and you know, we do have a history, you know, and uh, I cherish it, you know. You know, the good and the bad, you know. But you know, it's hard to unravel all this stuff, you know, that's gone on when so much has already gone on and now we're talking about it now. You know what I mean? And so, uh, but I hope, you know, to convey to you, you know, let me just say this, man. Your mom loves you. I love you. You know, I can't really speak, uh, about your mother because, uh, she's the one that ultimately, uh, I don't want to try to speak for her, or try to give you any type of like, you know, excuse or of why things happen. It is what it is, Cayden. Really, and you know, like I said, I don't I don't want to present it to you in a way that it, it's gonna some of the events that happen, they happen, drugs, alcohol, all that type of thing, right? Uh, but I'm not gonna blame anybody. I blame myself, you know, and I don't, and I want you to know that, that what you know happened is on me, on me, you know. Uh, and Cayden, I want to say this, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry. You know, you went through some turbulent times, and when I look back, you know, I see, I wish that I could talk to you now. You're 11, you know, and I don't know what's going on with you. They don't tell me nothing, you know. Uh, your mother doesn't know. The only, the only people, as far as um, all your mom's side of the family, the only one. Okay, so you got Grandma Cat, you got C1, you got your aunt Cassandra, and you got C4. Um, and you have cousins, you know. Uh, and so, okay, I say Aunt Cat, or no, I say Aunt Cassandra, right? You might want to refer to her as Mom. Uh, and I'm kind of gonna tell a little story about situations that happened, while I was seeing you. You know, we would see each other on the weekends, and uh, one day at a visit that I had with you, you called me Daddy Terry, and then you also said Daddy Jared, and so that came from somewhere. Cayden, like I said, I'm not trying to cause any waves, right? But like, um, at the time when you called me Daddy Terry, that shocked me because prior to that, every time you saw me, you'd run to me and say, "Daddy," and that was so cool. That was the just greatest feeling, you know. And I can't say, you know, I don't know personally 100%, you know, if this was something, you know, that you uh, came up with, you know. Uh, but when you said, you know, hey, Daddy Terry, you know, and Daddy Jared, I said, hey, Cayden, you know, hey, we got. I'm gonna say something right now, and you know, I want you to know that, you know, I'm your dad. I'm your dad, and that's it. It's just me. I am your dad. Now, Daddy Jared, that's your uncle. That's Uncle Jared, and we love Uncle Jared. That's what I said. You know, and in my head, you know, I did not want to cause any type of confusion for you because, you know, uh, I wanted to just keep it simple, you know. So when all that happened, you know, uh, I told my case, you know, the caseworker, Janet, I said, listen, man, he called me Daddy Cherry. That came from somewhere, you know. That's not something that, you know, he just drew out of his head, you know. Um, and I could be wrong, you know. I was just you know, and looking back, you know, I know certain things about, you know, your Aunt Cassandra now that, you know, I really, you know, didn't know then. I was suspected, you know, of manipulation, you know, and uh, I felt like they were trying to groom you. You know what I mean? That, you know, throwing out these suggestive things, you know, and it, I didn't like that. You know, I felt that it was going to be confusing, you know, and, you know, also, you know, you came and you said, fuck Daddy Terry. I told that to the caseworker too. Fuck Daddy Terry. So what happened in reality, you know, of that is, you know, I don't know who. I believe, you know, your grandma Cat, possibly, you know, but maybe, you know, Aunt Cassandra too. But, you know, when I went to the visit and you said, fuck Daddy Terry, I, I bit my, you know, I chewed that down and it was just like, and I didn't want to, you know, talk about it like that, you know, with you. But that came from somewhere, you know, and so these are like the little fucking, you know, manipulative, you know, types of situation, man, you know, that, you know, happen. And, you know, you see, like I said, I'm not trying to bash, you know, but it is what it is, you know, and I don't want to, you know, harp on this shit, you know. Uh, there was a time I went to a visit, and uh, I'm not going to say your name, your last name, but you used to, you know, you used to kind of have this cool way about saying uh, your last name, right? It was cool. But, anyways, I said it, and then you told me that mom, meaning Cassandra, mommy Cassandra, said that you can't say that last name anymore, you know? So, I know this is gonna be a lot, Cayden. And I only got a certain amount of time on these videos, and it just weighs so much. Um, but I did try to, convey to you, that hey, I'm your dad, and it's just me, and that's your Uncle Jared, that's your Aunt Cassandra, and as of this moment, 2023, uh, as I'm speaking all this stuff, you see that's a whole another issue. Your uncle and your aunt got a divorce, and your aunt uh, was seeing another guy and had a baby. You know, they're probably telling you that that's your sister, but in reality, that's your cousin. You know, uh, I really don't want. These are just kind of like some of the things that happen. And I'm not trying to, you harp on this shit, right? Because we're talking like a years period. You probably got, and then you know you might got three daddies now. Who knows? I'm just saying it gets really twisted and it just gets so confusing. And uh, I never I did not like. I'm gonna be honest. You know, uh, when it comes to your aunt Cassandra, I have no love at all for her. You know, I don't hate. I don't. I mean, I'm not trying to hate or wish anything bad on her. But when it comes to what she's done, you know, uh, she, okay, I gotta be careful here because I have my opinions about things. And uh, I can't help to think of the harm that happened. When I was going through all of this stuff, all this shit. Uh, One of the things about child custody and all that kind of shit is that what is in the best interest of the child. And me and you had a good relationship. We thrived. You called me dad, and you were always running to me and happy to see me. You know, and I just they're like so I'm kind of bouncing around, about this stuff, but I'm just kind of like laying some of the underlying things, you know, on my end, of of everything that happened, and Cayden, I know that you might possibly uh, not like to hear some of this stuff, you know, but I assure you, you know, these things happen, and so you know, I'm trying to like lay the groundwork, on just some of the events, and also too, like I said, there's your aunt Cassandra and your grandma Cat. You know, I'm gonna say, my truth, but I'm not, then I'm gonna let it go. Uh, I'm just kind of like right now, just gonna give you, trying to lay some of the foundation blocks on why I feel the way that I feel, and you know, I love you, Cayden. I love you, man. Uh, and I don't want to see you hurt in any way, And that's one of my fears, I think, I'm not harping on, trying to, on negative stuff, but man, I can't help but to think, you know. See, here's another thing too, Cayden. Just understand this, that at any time, right now, at any time, if they wanted to, I could see you. If they wanted to. If they wanted to let me see you, I could see you, you know? And but I know it's not going to happen, you know? It's not going to happen. They won't let that happen, you know? Uh they're you know, I got to be careful. And I'm sorry, Cayden. Just know this, a lot of this shit is my fault, you know? And some situations, I could try to, gloss over and everything, but the reality is, man, you know, it's my fault, and I'm sorry, I really am, So, you know, it's tough, man, because like, as I'm talking about this stuff, it's it's sad, because like, I feel like crying sometimes, I feel like, you know. Anyways, look, all I'm trying to say is that, you know, it's gonna take time, Cayden, and like so, like, and I want you to understand. There's another audience. These are videos are for you, but another audience is gonna find them too. And I want to be helpful. I want to be helpful. You know, so I want. So I'm gonna end this video, okay? But I want you to know that I miss you. I love you. You mean the world to me, and you know. I am sorry. I truly am. You know. So to to the audience that's looking at this right now, and I'm just know that I'm going to start talking about the CPS case itself. Because like I said, it lasted 9 years, and there's a reason why it did. Uh, and you're going to see. You're going to see. Uh, so we're just dealing with some of my history, so you could know my history and, just see, whatever. But, and so I'm trying to kind of keep it at, 30-minute videos, and we're at 29 something right now. So I got to let this fucking go. And I want you to know I love you. And, I miss you, buddy. I really do. And, let's just, I miss you.